Hello everybody. Right, I thought I'd do a quick video for you from YouTube this time instead of doing it direct from my Facebook page. A bit random because I've got to do this in landscape mode and not in portrait, so trying to look at the camera, which you can see me doing now, is bloody awkward. So for those that don't know who I am, I'm Jay from Just Technics. Just Technics is my business and I specialise in the customisation of Technics turntables. So if you've got 1200s like you've got here and 1210s, I am the person to speak to. Located in Colchester in Essex. Turnaround time usually is 3 to 5 working days for a service. For full modification work it could take up to 2 weeks. Depends really as to what you want, what your time scale is, when you want it back, etc. So yeah, so this is basically my office in Colchester. It's not massive. I've been here for a very long time now. I used to do this from home originally, and then as it started to progress, my business got busier, I needed more space, hence why now I'm in an office, and I've been here since the end of January. Been doing this self-employed for the last bloody hell, nearly 2 years now. So I've been tinkering with Technics on the side for the best part of about hang on guys, 2 seconds, people looking at the bike. Sorry about that, got my bike literally out here. They're all staring at me bloody motorbike 2 foot out the window. So yeah, anyway, located in Colchester in Essex, been self-employed for 2 years now doing this, been tinkering with Technics for the best part of 10 years I'd say, on the side of working for a very popular DJ shop, also based in Colchester in Essex. I had no affiliation with Technics or anything at all, working with them originally when I was at the DJ shop. Everything I've done now is completely self-taught. Things I've learned over the years, different tips, different tricks, all sorts of goodies that you can do to your turntables. So I thought, you know what, let's get this out in the open and get everyone else involved and make your turntables looking super duper, get them working up to scratch, get them looking really good. So parts of the things that I do, let me give you a quick turnaround on the camera now so you can actually see. So we've got a stack of Technics up here. Then if I turn the camera around here, we've got my workbench behind me with a pair that I have literally just finished. Ignore the state, guys, I'm going through it at the moment. I should have really done that before doing my video, but that's just one of those things. We then got my other storage corner here with bits and bobs at the top, old platter, under platter covers as you can see. A pair of 1200s that I've resprayed. A pair of 1210s that are in the process of being looked at. There's another pair there in bits as well. Turn the camera around my computer, my testing area, a deck I'm currently working on, and we're back to there again. So like I say, not massive, does the job for me. I'm more than happy with it. Probably look to expand at some point when I feel I actually do the need for more space. There is some more bits I'm looking into at the moment, so room is much needed to say the least. Let me see if I can turn this camera around and I'll show you what I've been doing. Just give us a second, guys. I must say, as we go off on this now, actually this is quite good in comparison to bloody Facebook. Right, so 2 decks in bits that I'm currently looking at. These bad boys are 2 spares, as you can see from the state of the bottoms. These are spares and repairs, ones that I've been looking at, hence why bits are everywhere for them. These are all the old platter, under platter covers I've taken off in the last couple of weeks. We then got the fantabulous 1200s that I've had resprayed. So as you can see here, 1200 silver, proper colour match and a glossy finish, look absolutely awesome. Got some spare touch-up paint if ever needed as well, which I give to my customers depending on what they've gone for. But lovely, lovely, lovely looking turntables. A bit dusty, but you get the idea. So it's 2 of them. These 2 are got to be looked at. As you can see from the state of them, that's how a tone arm's meant to look. That's not how they're meant to look. This is really, really bad. Another one down here that's going to be looked at. Another 2 down here with an empty box on top. As you can see, they're in a right old state as well. Especially that one there. I'm looking forward to cracking on and getting that one there done. That's going to be good fun. These 2 here for a guy called Tim Luck, or Mr. Luck, DJ Luck. They've been serviced, cleaned up. We've got a blue under platter LEDs, under pitch LED, 33, 45 strobe, pitch adjustment LED as well. As you can see, the pitches are lovely and smooth. That's because I've re-greased them. I've cleaned them up. They're bloody lovely. So that's been done. Moving on to here, we've got two Technics 1210 Mark IIs, which are going to have to go for a service, and one of them's on my Workbench home, which I'll tell you about in a second. We've then got two up here, 1210 Mark IIs, one 1210 Mark II. These have been recently serviced by a competitor who does done a bloody terrible job on them. Did a good service on that. A Mark V again, it's got plenty of things. I've got my notes on the top giving you an idea of what's needed, what problems there are. I think the Mark V, when I tested it, the pitch slider wasn't installed correctly and the pitch was wavering quite badly. We then got a pair of Mark IIIs here for another customer who dropped these off to me. They've been in his loft for the last 5 years, and you can see the amount of dust just from underneath the lid and from the top of the lid. So they need a good service, good clean up. They're going to be carbon fibre wrapped, blue LEDs, white pop-up light. They look awesome. Under platter LEDs for the pitch and platter as well. We've got two more here, which are for a customer called Craig. They're in the 1200 silver as well, freshly re-sprayed. The LEDs have been installed onto the main source now, so I've got to put them back together. Then I'm going to start on some carbon tone arms for them, which is going to be really cool. Next on the list, now sat back down, is this little beauty. Now, this deck here was causing me all sorts of earache, purely because when this was at 0, if you left it for 20 minutes to 45 minutes, the pitch would start to waver. Now, no matter where you put it here, even at 0, what would happen if you touched the platter? Imagine it's doing this constantly, the wobbling. That's what this was doing. Now, it ended up being the motor chip itself on the board. So the best way of solving these issues, to try and problem solve so you get an idea of what the problems are, is let it run till it has the problem, give it a further few minutes. Hang on just a second, guys, sorry. Give it a further few minutes just so that you can get it to its grips. Take the platter off and then feel the components. Now, this was red hot, and I'm talking to the point where you couldn't bloody touch it. So a good inkling to me that either the heat compound inside, because as you can see, if you're very careful and look carefully, you'll see there's lots of heat compound there. Now, either the heat compound was really badly warm or the chip itself was knackered. Now, I take it for red the chip is the problem, because if the heat compound's been on here for years, yes, it could be old, but on the same respect, you can run computers that are nearly 30 years old, don't have any problems when they have the heat sinks. I've changed the chip over. The problem now seems to have gone. I've changed diodes, I've changed all sorts inside this deck. This press deck has now been resolved as far as I'm concerned. That's all I've got to do now is give it a service. So doing that, getting that problem resolved, it's going to make my customer very, very happy, because that was the main cause for actually sending the deck to me. So happy days. That's that one there. And that's pretty much that, guys, at the moment. So yeah, it was a quick live video just to show you what I do. Where I'm based. Like I say, if you want vinyl wraps, that's something I can do. I only deal with 3M and Avery vinyl. It's customizable or whatever. You should really think twice about offering the service, because if you don't do it properly, it comes off. You have to use primer. There's all different things that you have to use in order to have your decks wrapped correctly. So every single pair of decks I do is custom made by myself, wrapped by me, freehand. Okay, a lot of customers will ask me, do I provide templates? Because as you probably know by now, some people on eBay especially, and they used to do it on Amazon, they used to sell templates for Technics. So you used to go onto eBay, you'd buy a pair of them, they'd rip you off with a pair of them, send them to you, and they never used to fit perfectly, and they used to go around the top section and flap around. So that's all well and good, but I don't like the eBay templates. And the templates themselves, they're already made by a vinyl cutter where someone's obviously mimicked the size. I don't do that. I've got a vinyl cutter, I make my own decals, but I do not do anything with wrapping using a template. Everything I do with wraps is all freehand, okay? So if you want to have a wrap done, I basically strip your entire deck down to the same form as you see, let me turn the camera around again, as you see just there. They get down to their base, and I put primer. There's a 3M primer, a special primer that you can get depending on what manufacturer of vinyl that you use, that you stick onto the problem corners of your turntables, problem areas, and that builds up and makes the vinyl more tacky. Once you press it down with a bit of heat, it stays there. And the only time that's ever going to come off is if you physically bloody rip it off. It is fantastic stuff, and that's why 3M and Avery vinyl are so very, very expensive, because it's the best quality that you can get, used on vehicle automotive, like my motorbike for an example, used on motorbikes, best quality you can get. Looks fantastic, conforms around really tricky edges and corners, so if you think it's going to peel or bubble up, it's not going to happen. It's anti-bubble technology as well, and the beauty with 3M vinyl is if you lay it down and you want to reposition it, unless you rub it really hard, it's not going to stay down. So it's the best choice for turntables by far. Okay, so that's with that. Vinyl wraps, they start from £70 a turntable. I've got it on my Facebook page as well, guys. So £70 a turntable if you want to have a turntable vinyl wrapped. So that starts off from there. You've got everything from camouflage, carbon fibre, you've got fluorescent colours, there's all different special effects types of vinyl. I use the 1080 range of the 3M range, which is the best range available from 3M for automotive vinyl. Check it out on the site. There's a PDF colour template as well, which I'll post on the page shortly, but that's the best thing to check out. What else have we got? Resprays. So resprays, any colour you want, I can have done for you. I'm talking any colour, whether you want the colour match of the original Technics, or if you want something a bit special, something aftermarket. Again, if you go on my Facebook page, you will see there are a ton of different turntables that I've worked on in the past, and you'll see the different colours that are available, different styles, different finishes. Take your pick. You pretty much can tell me anything you want and I can get it done. Okay, turntable spraying starts from £125 per deck, depending on what you want. So if you're after just a basic colour, so your black, your white, or any basic colour, and a set fee, usually about £120 onwards, £125 onwards. To have your Technics replicated in the original factory style colour, my colour match is perfect, okay? Especially the 1200 colour match. Now, satin finish is okay, but I wouldn't recommend it. Or the matte finish. Personally, with me, I'd go for a gloss finish. It looks more modern, and it's going to clean up easier as well. Okay, the original Technics finish is okay, very mattified though. So if you constantly imagine you've got your hand constantly on the corner where the pitch is, all that's going to happen after a period of time is the oil from your fingerprints, oil from your palm of your hand, is going to sink in and it's going to start rubbing into the turntable. If you get it done in a gloss finish, it will not happen, because the gloss, the clear coat finish on the top, is protecting the paint underneath. So you've got about 3 layers of paint underneath, as well as the clear coat and the primer for the paint. So in theory, it won't happen. So best choice to go for is to go for a gloss finish. I've done turntables in the past in a matte finish. Like I say, a satin's okay, but to be honest, a satin and a gloss, between the two on turntables, gloss always comes out and looks better. Another thing I offer as well is straight tone arms. So for people that are very unlucky out there, that have got damaged tone arms, so to speak, the same as the one I showed you a minute ago, if you've got a damaged tone arm to that description or really badly bent, I can install carbon fibre straight tone arms for you. So if you'd rather have something that's a little bit different, I can do that. Prices for the carbon fibre arms start from about £80 to £90, depending on what you'd like to go for, the length of the arm, the cabling as well. I'll rewire all the internal cables to higher quality cables, RIX cabling, change the RCA cables. So again, RCA cable installation as well. Another thing that I offer, LED installation. So if you're sick of the standard red LEDs that you can see on this turntable, for an example, the standard Technics LEDs, I change everything. So if you want something that's brighter, I can make them brighter for you. If you want something that's a different colour, you can have them in blue. You can have them in red if you want. Blue, red, white, it's quite nice as well. Purple, green, very, very popular. All different colours available, so it's entirely up to you what you have, but you can have these decks customised to your exact means. Modifications to the pitch controls, another one as well. Now, the Mark II pitch controls, again, as a lot of people know, were discontinued, along with the Mark III and the Mark V controls, all discontinued earlier on. It's very hard to find the original sliders from Mark II. There are a couple of sellers online and competitors that are starting to have them remade. So if you do manage to get hold of sliders before I get hold of the sliders, I will happily install them for you. If you pay for a service, then the price for the installation to install the pitch for you is included anyway. So what I say to people is, if you have parts that you have lying around the house that you'd like installed, stick them in the box. I'll pop them on there for you for free. It's included with the service. Okay, so I think that's, you can't get any fairer than that. But yeah, the pitch controls, I can modify the sliders for you. So if you want to have the clicks removed for the 0 point of the click, I can take them out. As you're aware, the Mark III and the Mark V do not have that click in the middle, so you've got to worry about it. I can bypass the 0% section for the easy mixing, so if you want to be able to mix around the 0 point, I can remove the dead spot on the slider, which makes it easier for you to mix on your turntables. I can do tricks with the motor as well. So in other words, what I can do is, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I do, but when you touch the platter, for an example, to slow the turntable down if you're mixing, you'll notice that when you touch the platter, let me show you on here actually, I'll better show you this turntable. So if you're touching the platter, you'll notice on a standard 1210 like this that's not been modified, when you touch it, it starts to do this. What it basically does, you see it jumping, that's the turntable trying to correct itself. Because if you imagine right now, this is at 0, okay? So it's 0 locked. So this shouldn't be moving. And as you see, it's not moving. It's perfectly still, 0'd completely. When you try and slow this down, what the turntable's trying to do is correct itself. So if you're slowing this down, and that's at 0, it's trying to speed it back up to 0, and hence why it's jumping. Very similar if you're trying to speed it up. Now, a lot of DJs out there, they either, to speed it up, some of them will touch the platter and push it forward, which is not my primary way of doing it. I don't even like mixing like that. So slowing the track down with me is touching the platter. Speeding it up is giving it a bit of a pinch. And you can see when you pinch it, the problem when you pinch it is it violently comes back down. So no matter how hard or how soft, or if you're trying to slow it down using the spindle, it still wants to try and correct itself. Now that can be a bit of a pain. There are a few mods that I can do, which instead of this trying to correct itself, it gradually builds back up. So if you're, say for an example, you've got the channel fader open and this deck here is running too fast and you want to slow it down just a little bit, minuscule amount, you touch your slider and all you do is just gradually plunge your finger in the corner. Now the slightest little touch on that, as you can see, will make it bounce. With what I do, all it will do is just gradually slow it down, and you can hold your finger there for as long as you want, and this jump that it's doing there doesn't happen. It won't happen. And when you're trying to speed it up as well, doing that, it won't violently come back down. As you can see when I do this, it will just keep gradually moving. So you can mix with the fader open, and in the gradual little movements you just touch it. A lot of DJs you will see using vinyl, they're constantly on this and they're constantly on this, because even though they're only slightly out, they've got to correct it because the turntable's trying to fight them. So that's one other thing I can do. If you have a pair of M5Gs and you're one of the lucky people that have got a pair, probably the worst pair of turntables that Technics ever made, you're very unlucky, but there is one thing you can do, and you can make the pitch easier to mix with. Now, I haven't told anybody how to do this. I've done a couple of turntables in the past. But there is a modification I can do to the board, which again allows you to mix easier. M5Gs, they're a pain if you've not used them. They're basically got blue LEDs down the side, switchable pitch, and the pitch control is digitally controlled. So basically, it's got the analog slider, but it's controlled by a chip. All right, so the board is digital basically. And now the best way of describing it is this. As of 1210 Mark II is analog. It's a complete one movement all the way down, okay, with a potentiometer. So it's nice and smooth all the way down, all right? With an M5G, because it's digitally controlled, it's a different ball game altogether. What it basically does is the slightest little movement here on an analog, for an example, means you can correct your pitch, yeah? If you do this on a digital turntable, instead of going like that to move it a little bit, you're basically, that little movement you're making is moving it like this. So it's staggered. It's not a fluid movement. It's stepped, digital steps. So it's the equivalent. If you look at these numbers, if you move it slightly like that, all it's actually doing is doing it in blocks. Okay, so you will never be able to pull off a perfect mix on a digitally controlled turntable, digitally pitch controlled turntable. Now, if you're one of the people that's watching this, or you're going to be watching this, and you think you feel like turning around and saying you're talking out of your arse, you're entirely, obviously, you're entirely allowed to have your own opinion. But guys, you are very, very wrong. Any turntable that has a digital pitch control slider that's been digitally controlled is not as accurate as one of these. Okay, best advice, because I get asked all the time by a lot of people, a lot of customers, is am I all okay to part exchange this in and get something new? Now, my advice to people is this. I've only said this quite a few times before. If you're into mixing and you're not bothered about scratching, and to be fair, these are very good for scratching. This is why the Technics DMC was so popular. These turntables are bloody fantastic for scratching. Okay, they might have S-shaped arms and people don't like them because they've got straight arms or whatever, but these decks are battle tanks. They are the best thing since sliced bread for any means of DJing. The only thing that lets these down is the motor. Now, the problem that you've got is a lot of the newer turntables now, when you look at them, they start and stop very, very fast. They've got high torque motors, and the majority of them use hand-pin motors, which are all use the same deck. So when you see something like Newmark's one, Denon, who else have we got? Pioneers, PLX 1000. You must have seen my previous video on that. If you're lucky, you would have seen it. They all feature exactly the same motor and the pitch control. And the majority of them have exactly the same tone arm assembly. You'll see that Stanton's tone arm assembly from the straight 150 and the straight 150S, they all have exactly the same arm. Now, there's a lot of people that nick each other's components, and that is also part of the bargain. But you're paying mega money for something which is not needed. The only reason you'd ever go for a new turntable is when they finally get rid of all of these and you can't get any parts, which is going to be very hard at the moment, or you want something that's got higher torque. Now, if you're more into scratching and you're not bothered about mixing at all and you're just a scratcher, then yes, go for a new turntable. New turntables will have higher torque, higher start and stop. They'll rip your fingers off on the platter, and it will move quicker because of the digital pitch as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, by all means, go for a newer turntable. Now, the problem you're going to have is what one to choose. Okay, now I do a lot of comparison videos and things. I've got to stick them all online. But the main one that you want to be looking for right now, if you want to spend minimal amount of money and get the best bang for buck, is the Epsilon turntables. You want to look at the new ones they've brought out. They have digitally controlled pitch. Okay, they have the hand-pin motor and the Stanton arm assembly. Now, fair play, they're not the best looking thing on the planet. They look like an old Gemini turntable and an old Cam turntable because I use the old same shell, but they're 150 quid retail each. Okay, £150 retail for a deck that has the same pitch and motor as a Pioneer PLX 1000, the same motor as the Reloop turntables, and pretty much the same motor as the Newmark. The only one that's completely different is the Denon motor. The Denon's assembly is the VLP12, completely different, okay? But they're along the same lines and they are a pain to mix on, okay? These are the only things I would trust for mixing. These Vestax do some good bits as well when they were going. And yeah, to put it in comparison, I've seen belt drive turntables mix better than newer turntables. Okay, so there's a lot of things to take on board when choosing the turntable. If you're one of the guys watching and you're looking at buying a 1210 or a pair of 1210s, there's a lot of things that you can look out for. You've got to be very careful when you buy these now, purely for the fact that because there's not many of these available, there's a lot available, but spare parts are quite hard to find now. The most important parts to find that people are finding very difficult at the moment are pitch controls, okay, and tone arms. Now, pitch controls, Alps make the sliders for these. There's a couple of competitors, like I said earlier, that can get hold of these. They've got patents for them, etc., etc. Buy them and I'll fit them for you. Quite happy to do it. If you've got pitch controls lying around, again, I can install them for you. So bear this in mind if you do go to buy a second-hand turntable. And it is actually perfectly straight. And you can tell by the condition of this turntable, it's been very well looked after. The customer delivered these to me in original boxes. They really are in lovely condition. And when I clean these up, they're going to look amazing. But to give you an example of a bad tone arm, let's just turn this around. So, all these ones down here, and the two that I've got down here, all have broken tone arms. Now, to give you an example, this one. So, this one's pretty obvious. You can see straight away that tone arm is bent. Okay, it's been hit somewhere. It's very rare that I see any in this sort of condition, but this one is terrible. fully bent in. So there's no way you can get that bent back out. They're made out of aluminium. If you reheat it, it's going to break. There's nothing you can do. Once it's set, it is set. There's no way of bending that back. Some of them also, it's not a case that they're bent in this way. Sometimes it's a case that they're bent down. So sometimes you get these and they're really close to the bottom of the cabinet. Now, I think this one here, that one there, this one's okay, surprisingly. It's been hit, but that one's okay. That one's okay. This one's bent. It's a bit closer, as you can see. It's hitting the top of the cabinet. So that one there's very bad. But yeah, you've got to be very, very careful with what you go for. Another thing you've got to bear in mind as well is who services your turntables. Now, like I said earlier, I don't diss other competitors. Big people that do this for a living, I've got a lot of respect for, because they obviously love Technics. So I'd like to think they love what they do. Some people really don't. There's a few competitors out there that I've had dealings with, which I can quite honestly say should not be in business at all. They've got shoddy work, they don't do things properly, they bodge, and these turntables don't last long. And all they think about is the money. I'm cheaper than everybody else. Okay, doesn't mean I'm worse, doesn't mean I'm crap, doesn't mean I give a crap service. This means I'm sick to death of people being ripped off for a service that they know damn well doesn't take as long as they make out. So this is why I do things cheaper. So a price to service a pair of Technics turntables, my cost is £150 for a pair, which is £75 for a turntable. So, of course, if you need tone arms changing, pitch controls, etc., that's going to be on top. All right. What you do get for your money, though, you get a full strip down of both turntables. Okay. You get reassembly, rebuild of the tone arm, calibration of the tone arm. Pitch controls get stripped, they get cleaned, they get re-lubed, they get put back in, they get calibrated. The main board is fully checked. Components, depending on how big they are, and it's not something that's included, they get changed as well. Yeah, and obviously recalibration, everything gets re-greased and cleaned. No one else offers the same service that I do. You know, it's just a no-brainer. Unfortunately, some of these guys out there, they just take the piss, and they know damn well these things don't take so long. Give you an example, that turntable there that I'm working on, guys, right? That one there, I had that plugged in to test the problem. I had it plugged in for the best part of probably an hour, okay? Just to make sure, because the first thing you do when you do anything with Technics, it is obviously isolate the problem. Hang on a second, guys. That's better. It's reflected on my camera. Yeah, so the first thing you do, no matter what it is, whether it's a computer, whether it's a phone, whatever you're dealing with, you have troubleshoots. You have to isolate a problem. So if someone says to me, Jay, you know, your pitch control, my pitch control's wobbling. Okay, I'll ask where it's wobbling. Does it happen the minute you turn it on? Does it happen after it's worn out? Sorry, after it's warm up. Does it happen on a set period on the pitch control? Does it happen towards the bottom end? Does it happen towards the top end? You know, what reasons or why do you think it's still causing this problem? When did it start causing it? You know, what happens if you leave it on for more than an hour? You know, all these different things. You got to isolate the problem. So the first thing I do is plug it in. Plug the turntable in. Check it out. Record exactly how long it takes before the problem arises, okay? Then take the platter off the top, check to see if there's any components that are blisteringly hot. Like I said a second ago with this turntable, that bugger, the motor chip, completely knackered. I mean, knackered to hell. After it warmed up after about 20 minutes, that thing was spinning around, doing all sorts of random crap. But that was causing the problem. So there's no bull here. That is what the customer sent me that for, to get it repaired. That problem is now resolved. He's going to get an email shortly to say that the problem has been rectified, and would he like me to service the turntable for him. Now, with any customer that I deal with, I always include freebies, okay? Now, this turntable, for an example, the pop-up light is terrible on it, okay? Yeah, these lamps, they're okay. They were great back in the day. You can still buy them. But let's be honest, guys. We're in 2018 now. Who wants to put a lamp back in? Lamps blow. You don't want to put a lamp in. I'll put LEDs in, okay? They're brighter, they don't blow, they last you for yonks, and it's the best thing to put inside your turntables. So this guy here, for an example, he seems like a nice guy. He was very honest. There was no lying in his description when he messaged me to say what the problem was. A lot of people will lie as well, they're just putting that out there. Tell you there's a problem with one thing, and then you check it and there's problems with other things and deny that they're there. So you need to bear that in mind as well. Some people are very honest. The majority of them are very honest. So this guy here, Doesn't know it yet, but he's going to have a bright white pop-up light installed in both turntables and LED. So it's going to be a lot brighter. He'll be very happy, and that's free of charge for him. So there's always something I do for customers, whether it's sticker kits like I've got up here, sticker kits that I do myself with my vinyl cutter for you, whether it's Technics ones to go down the sides of your decks, whether it's platter decals, even little sticker sheets like this, for an example. Real DJs use vinyl. I know it's reversed, pain in the ass, but real DJs use vinyl. I could do any custom decals from DJ names, anything like that. So yeah, what I ask customers to do is basically this. If you're planning on sending your turntables to me, there's a few things you need to bear in mind. One is whereabouts you're located. So it's a no-brainer. I know you're probably thinking, well, that's obvious. Look, I'm based in Colchester in Essex, okay? And the first thing that customers do is they'll go, well, that's too far away. Or they'll say, well, how do I get it to you? Now, there's a couple of methods you can do. One of which is get in your car and drive it to me. And you'd be surprised the amount of people that actually travel a good 2 to 3 hours just to get to my office and drop turntables to me. I used to get it all the time. Before Christmas, when I was doing this, before I had this office, I was doing this from home, okay? And people were driving down from the arse end of London, coming down from all over the place to come and give me their Technics and pick them up before Christmas. And it looked terrible because I was working from my living room, but people appreciated it. But now I get people all over the place drop things off. They drive from hours to come to me. You can either drive them or courier. Now, if you're going to courier, the best way I suggest people do it to me is using a firm called p4d.co.uk. What P4D is basically they're to compare the market of the delivery courier side of things. So if you're one of these guys that doesn't really know how to organise things online, doesn't want to pick the phone up and explain the sizes, etc., it's very, very, very easy to do. So p4d.co.uk. I'll put the links and things in the descriptions of whatever you do on YouTube. I don't know, Facebook's different, so I'll do it on YouTube anyway. But the way you do it, you go on p4d.co.uk. It'll ask you for the collection address and the delivery address. They're both the postcodes for them. Sorry, it's the postcode of delivery and courier. All you do is pop your courier pickup address, and I'll give you my postcode for the delivery address in Colchester from my office here. So really, really simple. You do that, then you put on there how many boxes. You do the height, width, and depth. Type the height, width, and depth of the boxes in, and the weight. Now the weight can be anything from 14.5 to 16, depending on what you're going to be using to cart them in and what packaging you use. Usually I say 15 kilos is a good start. So 15 kilos is usually a rough base, because I think it's 14.9 or 14.5 kilos was the actual boxed dimension size, weight of a Technics turntable when they came out in their original boxes. So it's worth bearing in mind your weight may differ. So again, pop them in, push next. It'll give you loads of search entries there with all the popular couriers from TNT, DHL, Parcel Force. They're all there. You just choose the one which you think is most reasonably priced for you, and you can add insurance cover if you want as well. I think it's up to, it's £1,000 up to, but you can think it's for 750 quid. I think it was a tenner, so it's not much money, but either way, it's about 35-40 quid, I'd say, all in to send a pair of Technics to me in Colchester. But bear in mind, guys, to send it back, it's going to be the same. So make sure you got the money for your courier before you go ahead and say, yes, I'll take these dates. So that's that. Okay, so courier's done. So you tell me exactly what the problems are with your turntables. You give me a rough idea as to what you would like done. You give me an idea of photographs, so give me some photos of the problems. If you've got problems or anything with them, give me some videos. Send me some photographs of the state of the turntable, so I can advise you if there's anything else that I can see that needs to be done. And that's where we move on from there. They then arrive to me with the courier after you've booked it. They arrive to me with the reception guys here in my office complex. They deliver them to me. I bring them here, get them out, get them on my shelves. As you can see, there's them up there and some in front of me here. Get them out, and then you're next on the queue. Do a quick evaluation as to what I think is the problem. You will receive pictures and all sorts from me. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you really should do, because you'll see some of the absolute shambolic bodge jobs that I've dealt with over the last year of being here. It has been bloody ridiculous. So please, guys, check me out on Facebook. So facebook.com/Just Technics. You will find me on there, or just type Just Technics in the search. I'm sure that will pop up as well. I'm also on Instagram too, guys, and I don't really use it that much, but you'd be surprised the customers I get from Instagram. It's quite crazy. Go on Instagram, Just Technics, you'll find me there as well. There's a picture of a deck, it should be. But yeah, so that's the first point of call, is get the decks back, check over them, do an evaluation, see what I think is the problem, advise you, and then strip the bad boys down, get them nice and clean, get all the dirt, grime, rave goo off of them, and just get them looking clean, get all the crap out so you know you've got a fresh base, you know, it's done properly. Once that's done, I then begin to strip all the components down one by one, so everything's cleaned, lubed, done by the book, step by step. Get everything done, put it back together, test it out, triple check it, everything. Then let you know and send them back. It's pretty straightforward, really, depending on what problem you've got. So that's pretty much the basics as to what actually happens. Have I got some people messaging me? Sorry, guys. What's the... Oh, there are. So I didn't even know people can message you on here as well. It's just like Facebook. So what have we got here? Best Technics channel here. Good advice. So true about... Oh, it vanishes. Live chat or messages are visible. Oh, here we go. Right. That's it. So now we can see it. Best Technics channel here. Good advice. So true about Mark II being better deck. Original is always best for mixing. In pitch, I would set Mark II. Also have a one new Technics GR digital pitch again. Also agree. Pioneer. Technics 1000 are complete. Job pitches all over the place. Good for scratch DJ, but not a fan. Pioneer also. Yeah. You see, that is exactly that. So FS is F Swift DJ. Sorry if I haven't done this properly, but F Swift DJ, you're absolutely spot on, my friend. It isn't just the Pioneers. You probably find also, if you've got a 1200 GR, you may find as well, if you're putting that next to your Mark IIs, that that again is going to be quite difficult to mix on because it's got digital pitch. So again, all of these turntables that have been released, that are modern turntables, unless they go back to basics and back to the old school, which I really hope one day they do, you're going to be in for a world of pain when you try mixing on them. It is such a bloody shame that have gone that route, but that's what happens, guys. Everyone wants to use digital now, and digital's apparently the way forward with turntables, which I totally disagree on. But there we go. Right, so this was basically just a quick video. I've been doing this video for 37 minutes, so it was really to do a video to let you guys just say hello basically on my channel properly, on a proper video, but also just to give this Technics a test as well, because I know after half an hour this starts to play up, and I think it's safe to say now that I've actually resolved that problem. So yeah, just a quick hello really, to say who I am, what I do, where I'm based, and the services that I offer. So at least you guys get an idea, and I'm sure the view count will go up or whatever. I don't really know how it works with YouTube. It's something a bit new for me really. But yeah, keep on following me, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to my videos, please do. I'd really appreciate it. You'll see lots of videos pop up on here. Like I explained on the description of this video, what I'm going to start doing, I've got my iPad as well as a webcam on the PC. So what I may very well do is do a live video on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook all at the same time on the same accounts, using all three of my things. So PC I'll probably do through Instagram. I'll do the iPad through YouTube because it's got good quality anyway, and I'll use my phone, which is the highest quality, for my Facebook, because my Facebook is my highest what's the word, achiever when it comes to views and things. So that's what we'll do. So when you see this, every single video I do, I'll put a link on here as well to each channel that I do on here for my Facebook. So again, if you haven't already checked me out, guys, you really should. My feedback on Facebook is bloody fantastic. My reviews speak for themselves. There's a couple of idiots on my reviews that screwed myself and my other half over. So I got a 4.9 out of 5, all because they ripped her off on a phone, blah, blah, blah. Terrible people. So again, if you're going to be doing this and going on my page, please report the 2 1-star reviews. I'd really appreciate it, because they're fake, malicious reviews, nothing to do with my business. Absolutely terrible. So yeah, it was just a hello. So I've said hello now. You've all seen my office in Colchester. And if you need any help with anything, like I suggested before, please give me a call. My number for the office, I've got it written down, so I've got to look away. Number for the office is 07847 270 823. Okay, so again, if you didn't get all that, 07847 270823. That is my office number on my cheap and nasty office phone. So if you want to talk to me about a problem that you're having or something that you'd like to have done, you can call me directly. So it's not just email, it isn't just by comments. You can speak to a real person. It's me, only me here. I'm a one-man band. There's nobody else doing this. It's all secure as well, guys. One thing I will say. I mean, my business is based within the Western Business Centre. Okay, so it is lovely and secure. It's like Fort Knox. Every single area within this building is all under key card. So you need one of these bad boys to get in anywhere. There's about 4 doors just to get into the complex where I am. So when you send me your decks, rest assured they are safe. There was one competitor I saw do a video a long time ago that was basically trying to slate me directly and saying, oh yeah, it's not good because this guy works from home from a shed or something, saying we're there 24/7. Well, it's no good if you're in bed, is it? You don't work 24/7. You don't work, it's ridiculous. So key code, proper complex with security. What more do you want? Okay, I've never had a complaint in my life with security from something as stupid as that. So yeah, so based in the Western Business Centre or the Colchester Centre in Colchester in Essex off Hawkins Road. There's a DJ shop next to me, which is the DJ shop that I used to work for many years, which is Get in the Mix and Why Buy New. Don't really have many dealings with them anymore for various different reasons, which is a bit of a shame. So I do like them, but there's problems there. But if you want to get in there and have a look at some new gear and DJ stuff, they're literally next door to me, so it's the road out, turn right there, so it's walking distance as well. So if you got anything that needs to be done on a 1 hour job, emergency job, you can drop your decks down to me, wander over to the shop, do your business in there and come back. Or there's a cafe out here, you can wait in the cafe for it. Yeah, so there you go. So Colchester in Essex, need your Technics serviced or slight repair work done or customization, custom work done, hit me up on Facebook. Give us a call. I've got an email as well. I'll put all the links on my on this channel, on this particular post, so you've got everything there that you need. Any questions about anything at all Technics related, pop me a post on the page, on the link. On the comment section of this video, guys. All right. Now it's the first proper one I've done. I know there's some videos I've done from previous work, but this is my first proper YouTube video. It's live, regardless. It's on my page. So any questions, just ask me, all right? I will get back to you as soon as I can, okay? Now, if you're going to ask me about repair work, you got a problem with your deck and you want to know how to do it yourself, please do not waste your time and ask me, okay? This is my job. It's what pays my bills. If it's something simple that I know it's not worth your while sending to me, then yes, of course, I will quite happily talk you through how to do it. If it's something that needs to be done, and it's something that needs to be done with a bit of slow work, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. So don't want you breaking your turntable. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that will give advice and they won't give the proper advice to do it. This is something that I stay clear of. I'll give you an honest response to what your problem is. The other thing you will notice with me is if you watch my videos on Facebook, is I don't beat about the bush. Okay, and what I mean by that is I don't bullshit. So if you're one of these guys out there that wants a straightforward answer, if something can be repaired, or if something can be customized, or it can be painted, or you want something done and you want a price, you will get a straight answer from me. There's no, I'll have a look into this for you and get back to you in 3 working days. I can go on my computer, and to be fair, I've got them all locked in up in here in my prices anyway. Everything is here, so I can tell you every price, every code, anything you want. Ask me and I will be able to help you out. So yeah, servicing starts from £75 for a turntable. So servicing is £75 per turntable. If you need any additional parts fitted and you've got them at home, like I've just said, I will quite happily fit them for you. Just stick them in the boxes. Prices will be included with the servicing, okay? So there's none of this ripping off stuff, okay? That's the first thing. Again, spray painting, it starts from £125 per deck, depending on what style you want. Okay, vinyl wraps are £70 per turntable. So if you would like to have your deck customized in camouflage, carbon fiber, bright and leery styles and colors, you can go onto 3M's website. I only use 3M vinyl and Avery vinyl. Go on their website, look at the 1080 range, look at everything they do. There's some awesome colors on there, guys, some wicked styles, and they do not pick and peel off. 3M is 5 to 7 year outdoor vinyl, and it lasts you longer than that, especially if it's indoors. I mean, what's the worst that can bloody happen, for God's sake? And if you do get sick of the colour, you can rip it off. It's a no-brainer. LED replacements, I can change your LEDs. Under platter, under pitch LEDs, it's all doable, guys. Just send me over a message. I can give you all the prices you want. Under platter LED kits are £70. If you want one through the post, I can send it to you, £70 each. If you want me to install under platter and under pitch, they're £75 for me to install here. Okay, not greedy with prices. The prices are exactly the same, and the labour is free of charge to have it done. If you're having your decks done by me, if you're having them serviced by me, all right. So if you're having them serviced by me, the labour is included to fit the LEDs for you, which I think is fair enough. A lot of other guys charge you another hour. It's not worth it. Just do things properly. Do things, include free things. Do things like that. It goes a long way. I'm a big believer in that. Right then, guys, I'm going to crack on and get this deck done. I'll try and do a video hopefully again tomorrow, but I don't know just yet. But either way, there's usually 2 or 3 videos a week from me, just to give you an idea as to what's going on. So get used to it, because I'm not going anywhere. So there's going to be a lot of videos. My channel's going to be exploding with videos over this time. So keep on checking back on the page. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because that way you'll be notified as to when my videos do go live or get uploaded. Anything you'd like to see me do on videos, or ask me any questions you want, please put it on the post at the bottom of the video. And like I said, it's Jay from Just Technics. If you watch me on Facebook, you'll get used to me saying it's just me, Jay from Just Technics. I say it all bloody time. Please do check back. Any questions of anything, or you wanted to say hello, please do. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. If you haven't already checked me out, please go on my Facebook page and also my website. Website is www.justtechnics.co.uk, and the Facebook page once again is facebook.com/justtechnics. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will speak to you all later. I have no idea how to end this video at all, which is a good start, isn't it? I believe it's that X in the corner. So thanks, guys. Take it easy. See you later.